Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. As today, we're a bit tired of the crashing, so I think it's time for some burn. I mean, we're pretty much done here anyway, aside from getting blood from the stones and then carving a path back to the exit. Our attempts to draw blood thus far have all been in vain, but it turns out that is because we skipped orientation. So it's about time we compass rose to the occasion.
The statues reveal the hidden door. Curious. How much farther can I go?
Not too much farther, bud. We're almost done. Fairly basic entry chamber. Decorative door. Conspicuously unlit braziers. Sunbeam on this cliff face over here, but doesn't seem accessible. Random chasm, purely decorative. No obvious jump paths. Light up the braziers. Feels relevant, considering whose temple this is. No notable change. Oh! Okay, so it's actually an area transition. Interesting.
Remarkable that this stayed hidden all this time.
Right. Yeah, this might be more involved than I realized. Secondary entrance chamber, pre-lit. We've got a plaque, we've got a force field, we've got stained glass of one of the Dawn Lords. I forget which one that is. And then this conspicuous cluster of crystals, an energy source. Plus potential jumping path. No, non-traversable. Ooh. Okay, we've got some sort of automated defenses. The Dawnbreaker. Nice name. Plus another energy field and another cluster of crystals concealed down here. And a second Dawnbreaker. Followed by a raised platform of some sort. Okay. Oh, and there's a third cluster. With what looks to be a fairly obvious jumping path. Circumvents the second barrier. Solution feels obvious, but let's check that plaque.
If thou readst this, trespasser, turn back, lest your life be forfeit.
Right, so no clue, just a generic warning. So I guess we just smash this? Yeah, that did it.
No time to dally.
Okay, so now disarm the Dawnbreaker. Then we have the obvious bypass path with energy source on the other side. Interesting. They actually used a different Dawn Lord on that stained glass. Right, yeah, and then that one too. That's the one who's buried out front. Though notably, only 3 of the Dawn Lords are represented, not all 4. Perhaps we'll see our 4th once we get up those stairs.
No one's stopped me yet. Breathe deep.
Check that plaque.
Lathander's light may be infinite, but his mercy is not. Return. Now.
Just another generic warning. I've got to say, this puzzle feels exceedingly simple for how grandiose this place is supposed to be. like, logistically, I don't even see how this place would be practical. Were the Dawn Lords expected to destroy these energy sources every time they had to come down here for maintenance or upkeep or something? I mean, maybe I'm just being silly, but as a dungeon master, I did generally try to keep logistics and sustainability in mind when it came to these sorts of dungeon designs.
Have a lot on my mind.
And I've got to say, this one feels pretty impractical.
In it. Moving in.
The Morning Lord's wrath awaits, heretic. Retreat whilst thou can.
Though I suppose it is possible that this was never intended to be an approach taken by actual adherents of Lathander. Hence why it's designed to automatically assume as if we are heretics for coming this way. Perhaps there's an alternate entrance the Dawn Lords themselves used further in to bypass this initial gauntlet. Though honestly, that was pretty pathetic as far as gauntlets go. Oh, and there it is. The blood of Lathander, I presume. Interesting, that's clearly more than just a dais. Like a focusing chamber? Oh, you know what? I'll bet that's what the true purpose of the blood of Lathander was, to fuel or power the solar laser up top. Yeah, this definitely looks like a focusing chamber. Likely channeling the energy of the blood of Lathander into the lance up top. We also have this very distinct archway here. Energy source. No visible change. Not entirely sure what that was powering, but I'm going to assume some sort of defense. Possibly for a portal that would have spit out some sort of guardian. And then this is obvious. We have that crest we found earlier. Huh. Okay. I guess destroying that energy source disabled whatever was supposed to happen. The Blood of Lathander. A +3 legendary mace. Though, I mean, that is clearly a Morning Star, though I guess they don't differentiate in 5th edition anymore. Classically, back in 3rd edition, that would have been a difference of D8 versus D6 and piercing versus bludgeoning. Lathander's Blessing. Once per long rest, when your hit points are reduced to 0, you regain 2d6 hit points. Allies within 9 meters also gain 1d6. Sheds holy light in a 6-meter radius, and combat fiends and undead are blinded unless they succeed at a con save. Okay, well that's not bad at all. Especially given that they've clearly set us up to face at least a few fiends later down the line. And possibly undead as well, though I mean, considering this game caps at level 12, I can't imagine we'd ever go up against the Lich Queen herself. But I could see us potentially facing her undead minions. And I guess that's it. We've got these solar machines, we've got this mysterious archway. But I guess maybe we disabled all that when we destroyed that cluster. Oh, wow, yeah. This would have been a bad time if they'd actually been active. Okay, I guess we'll just see ourselves out then.
What a heavily guarded treasure. Good job we got past those protections.
Must have been a precious artifact.
Is that such a surprise? It looks powerful enough to level a mountain.
I mean, let's not go crazy. It's only +3. Though I suppose, relatively speaking, that does put it on the upper echelon for this particular campaign. Which does make it interesting that we acquire it so relatively early in the campaign, since this is a 3-act structure. Also, apparently we could have just quick traveled back out over there. The entire secret vault area was not covered by the quick travel ban, which you can now see is back in place in the Inquisitor's chamber. Though, I mean, obviously we won't be doing that. One sec, let me just make sure we're ready for this, and then we'll get this show on the road. And we're back. Okay, let's tie up this last loose end. And I think that is it for Act 1.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Oh, Kith'racking there is then. That was nice of her to meet us halfway. I do question how she immediately knew that we were... Well, no, I guess given her personal interest, it would make sense if, Blackith warned her we were on our way out. Yeah, this is nothing. We'll get Rex on the caster and back. Shouldn't have much trouble neutralizing the rest.
Out of sight, out of mind.
We do need to pace ourselves, though. There's no telling how many more will oppose our exit.
1, 2.
Let's not get caught off guard.
Make sure everyone's tagged in.
Don't waste a step.
There is an hammered, but still in.
On my way.
Ready for another round?
Oh, interesting. Apparently we hammered her so hard it feared not just her, but also her doggos. Which does further trivialize an already easy fight.
Easy.
Let's clear the caster. Oh, shoot, wait.
God's a betrayer.
Okay, that's not what I meant to do. Rex? Oh, interesting. Accidentally went real time with pause there for a second. That was unexpected.
My turn.
Minor ding on Karlach. No big deal. Caster's out. Let's clear Therazin.
Hup.
Therazin out.
Keeping low.
And Lae'zel. Into the fray.
Not one false move.
Yeah, that looks right.
I can't afford to fail.
Clear range support.
Never a dull moment.
Time to strike.
I was really hoping the doggos would leave once their master was out,
Forever,
but
pal.
I guess we'll have to clear them too.
This'll help.
Still breathing, despite everything. Need to find a way forward.
Sorry. Oh, wow. Good for you. You have mildly inconvenienced me. Sorry, Doc.
Where do I go from here?
And apologies to the Urath.
My own people seek my head. They will not see then bleed them dry. Swift and lethal.
Yeah, way ahead of you there, Lay.
Fury.
These things have stayed interesting.
Karlach there, punctuating our victory with some cheerful humming. I mean, to be fair, Therazin and company definitely had it coming. These guys slaughtered a lot of innocent monks. And here we go. Soulbreaker Greatsword. +1 Gith Greatsword. Grants Psionic Weapon, +1d4 psychic damage in the hands of a Gith. And seldom caught unawares, +2 on initiative rolls. Very simple, but also very nice. Also grants Soulbreaker. Wow, possible stun for 2 turns. That's actually not bad at all. Once per short rest. That would have certainly been annoying had she ever gotten a chance to actually use it against us. We'll toss that straight to Lae'zel. No reason not to. That's a solid upgrade. Though, I mean, once we're done with the crash, there's not much reason to continue traveling with her long term. If and when we do pursue Act 2, we're more likely to swap her out for someone else. Whoever's most relevant to whatever story we're exploring at the time. Gale, Astarion. Will, I suppose, if and when we ever get around to rescuing his father.
One day I'll catch a break.
Though I will say, given how ham-fistedly they've rewritten his story, he's definitely the character I'm the least invested in, aside from Halsin. And from what I understand, we can't even use Halsin in our party until his story is essentially complete regardless. Which is a very weird choice. Because, yeah, I actually, while I do try to avoid spoilers, I did double-check that. Because I had some folks suggesting we swap him in for certain events. But it turns out you can't actually move him into your active party until after you've resolved the whole Shadowland arc. And that is, like, his main thing. We'll save the looting for after we clear the place out. Looks like the Quartermaster's still here. We definitely want to take her out. Yeah, they're clearly waiting for a fight. More or less in the same spot, but also combat ready.
I could go for a good meal. Rat feet.
Let's get a closer look here. Three warriors up front. Quartermaster's obviously the biggest threat. 2 range support in back. Oh, yep. And then we've got another group actively blocking the exit. We'll probably engage from here. That makes more sense than just walking into a choke point. Yeah, so potentially 4 more fights. We've got these guys, we've got the entrance, we've got the training room, and then possibly the creche.
Got it.
Sentry! Intruder spotted. Hitaka!
Quartermaster at half.
Got it.
And now at like 10%.
With every breath, a purpose. I shouldn't linger.
Lae'zel's in. We'll just get her engaged. We'll have Auric finish off Jira.
Name be known.
Nice, nice. Don't want to burn off our surge just yet, but we will position to block.
Gods, it's hot in here.
Maybe I should stay crouched forever.
And Auric. Let's finish off Jira. No masters, no quarter. Oh, wow. You actually survived. Good for you.
Have to keep going.
Guess I should have hexed. Got a little too frugal there. And Shadowheart.
Secrecy above all. Better tread carefully.
Jira out.
Hop, hop.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
Oh, my. Alright, Lee, I'm going to need you to maybe not get hit every once in a while. Honestly, leave it to Lae'zel to constantly be trying to find new ways to snatch defeat from the jaws of certain victory.
Over there. One, two.
Another fight. Let's go. Can't slow down.
What's the plan? Got to move. Victory awaits.
Quen out. Second winded. And engage. Your move. Make it good. Yeah, that wasn't great, but you tried.
Easy as.
Oh.
Time to push my luck again.
Come on, Karlach. Must I do everything myself?
Best be on my way.
Can't give up. Not now. Onward.
There we go. Thank you, Shadow.
Eager for battle.
I'd love to, thanks.
A long way to go still.
Yeah, might as well burn them.
Hey-ho.
We've got like 30 or 40 stockpiled.
Soon. Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting
Let's see what that
times.
nets us. I believe the current system is the 3 most valuable items in a vendor's inventory drop upon their death. Stack of arrows of transposition. Interesting. Not what I would have expected. I guess they count the whole stack as a single item. Yeah, we'll take them. Plus the Defender Flail. Yeah, I earmarked that as a likely get. And standard plate armor. That's disappointing. Also, the Amulet of Branding, which can be used to brand the weak. Expose the weak points of an enemy. They become vulnerable to bludgeoning, slashing, or piercing damage for 3 rounds or until the target takes damage. So extra potential damage on a single attack per day. That kind of sucks. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's useful for our utility chest, but the problem is I don't think you can actually swap out worn items during combat. So if you're wearing that, you're explicitly giving up whatever the normal benefits of your next slot item would be for the entirety of that particular fight. Though I suppose I'd have to double check that. I'm not sure we've ever really tried to change jewelry during combat. Oh, right, then we're saving the looting for after. Sorry, that's just reflex. I see loot I want to take. Crossbow of Arcane Force. +1 crossbow, but with arcane ammunition. Infuse your crossbow bolts with arcane energy. Your ranged weapon attacks deal an additional 1d4 force damage. for a single turn, once per rest. I mean, better than a +1 crossbow, I suppose, but not by much. An extra 1d4 damage per rest is fairly trivial. Now the entrance.
Time to press ahead.
So we've got 1 up top, 5 below. All clearly waiting for us to try to push through the main door. Let's see if we can neutralize that range support first. We'll be long resting once we're out of here, so no reason to really hold back. At least where once per rest abilities are concerned. Oh, shoot, right. Yeah, that's not quite how I envisioned that playing out in my head. For some reason, I was imagining him pinballing off the far wall and then falling down below, but obviously that's not how they actually have it programmed. There was no safe place for him to land, so the game just negated the knockback.
Not one false move.
Oh well. Take him out. Lae'zel has joined the fray. Let's finish off that range support.
You're making me sweat. Easy as.
Nice, nice. Oh, hey. Well, this is awkward. Our returning pike has decided not to do the one thing that it's advertised as doing.
I need to concentrate.
Alright, well, just hang tight, I guess. Let's get Shadow tagged in.
Onward.
Of course. Always fun to stockpile poisons, only for the bulk of our foes to be immune. But no worries. Let's Rex shop. Nice. Cast her out.
Time to strike. You bow or you break.
Wow, these guys never stood a chance. Even with our various snafus.
All right, Karlach, it's go time.
Retrieve yon pike. That's fine, just hang out.
Count on me.
Ow.
Light on my feet.
Finish him.
My faith will protect me. Got to press on.
Get out of here. Nobody likes your style. Go.
Let me strike true.
Oh, boy. I almost feel bad for these guys, if not for the fact that they're unrepentant mass murderers. But that's got to be rough, right? Spending your entire life dedicating your every waking moment to serving your immortal god queen, only to be utterly crushed the second you're finally thrown into the fray.
Got it.
Where's your god queen now? Actually, that is a good question. She went through the trouble of a personal divine intervention early on, but now that things have thoroughly gone south, she's nowhere to be found. I will say there is some slight narrative dissonance there, like she personally got involved, and she could have killed us, apparently, back during her brief appearance. But then she just left before she found out whether or not we obeyed her orders. Normally, when you have a big bad like that, one who could utterly crush the party, the most classic excuse for them not crushing the party is that it's beneath their notice or they are unaware it's happening. But in this case, Blackett clearly knows exactly what is transpiring. You know, and now not only have we defied her, but we're actively destroying all of her followers who are clearly woefully incapable of actually stopping us. And we're actively walking away with the one thing that is a threat to her immortal rule. So it really does raise the question of why she's suddenly hands off, aside from plot convenience, of course. Oh, Alika, that's... I think that's the tiefling we met out on the bridge, the one we encountered just before Kith'racking Voss. Guess she didn't get very far.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Alika, what happened? Last time we ran into you, you said you were giving the Gith a wide berth. How'd you end up here?
Road to Baldur's Gates. Blocked. Took a new path. Found monastery. Remembered.
You maybe want to finish that sentence?
A rhyme. Blood of Lathander. Hidden. Guarded by monks. Decided to look for it.
Ah, okay, I see. So you were placed here to give us additional context about the blood of Lathander. Sad you had to die for that, because we've already got it. So, how'd this happen?
Gith'racking. Slowly. Painfully.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What exactly did they want from you? You're not a servant of the Absolute?
Absolute. Moonrise. Couldn't understand.
Okay, yeah, I guess that tracks too. The Gith have no way of knowing who actually serves the Absolute, so they're just waylaying and killing travelers at random. All the more reason for us to make sure it doesn't keep happening. Well, Alika, I'm sorry this happened to you. Do you have any next of kin you'd like me to inform?
Elturel. Near Maiden's Bridge. Exiled. Lost everything.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Yeah, I don't think Elturel's within the scope of this particular campaign, so sadly, she essentially died for nothing. To inform us about a plot device, which we... Shadow? What are you... Oh, I see. Shadow, please keep your hands out of my magic pockets. Lore object? I'll guess another clue related to the blood of Lathander. I suppose we are kind of coming into this backwards now. Bloodied note. In blood-splattered capitals, a dying monk tortured by the Gith'racking begs Lathander to turn his dawn-bright face to her, to dull her pain and kill her escort. Escort her on golden stairs to a palace where her pain might seem worth it. She admits that she kept the secret of the blood of Lathander to herself despite her torment. Lord, I hope I served you well. I hope that I do Bit of an awkward typo there where they clearly rethought having her beg for death. Only to forget to actually remove that part when they replaced it. Which, yeah, I mean, that is a bit awkward. Already grim enough, being tortured and dead, without including the part where someone is so desperate they beg their patron deity for the sweet release of death. And again, much like with Alika, all the more reason for us to finish what we started here. Make sure the Gith are in no condition to continue their senseless slaughter. Ring of Arcane Synergy. Interesting. We pulled one of those off of the Inquisitor's crew. And nothing else of note, so let's push on to the training room. There's someone there that very much needs to die. Though I am hoping that one friendly Gith we met has made himself scarce. As well as all the younger ones. Like, I mean, we'll knock out...
Should mind my step.
Hold on, let's get a closer look. Okay. So we've got the main trainer front and center, backed up by an array of the older recruits.
What's the story?
Those still young enough that I don't want to just outright slaughter them. We'll focus down Keth, but knock out the rest. Is what I would say if I could actually draw a line of sight. Oh, I see. Is the doorway Is the phantom door blocking our fire path?
Waiting with bated breath.
Yes, okay, that's exactly what's happening. Well, that does put us in a bit of a jam. There we go. Oh, we've also got an Ardent back there, so that guy's marked for death. All right, let's do this. Oh, huh. That was a weird response to our sneak attack. I mean, they're still in the fight. They didn't flee. But they did very conspicuously reposition. Oh, wait a minute. I see. Hold on. They expressly moved to act as body shields for their instructor. That is grim. And also not going to work. If anything, it just makes me want to kill this guy even more. Let's get Rex in there, keep him pinned. All right, Lae'zel, you're up.
Staying out of sight.
Please try to be gentle with the younglings. Oh, shoot. Well.
What a charmer.
What comes now? Let me strike true.
Hey, there we go.
Another fight. Let's go.
And now this guy. Better make it good, bud, because this is the only chance you'll get. Ah, yes, of course, weaponizing the youth. That does certainly track. Let's lay them out.
Taste my fury.
Nice, nice. And hold.
Can't afford to let up.
Shadow up next. Let's go ahead and prop up Lae'zel.
On my word. Find a route.
Karlach. We'll have you finish off the caster.
Go on.
Caster out. And just start whittling, I suppose.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, hold. Frenzy feels like overkill. Wow, that's really kind of sad, but... yes, I'm glad we put on the safeties.
These boots have seen everything.
Knock out Keth. Oh, snap. Still alive. And still manipulating the youth. Wow, look at this bozo. He is literally trying to be the guy behind the curtains.
Victory awaits.
Lae'zel could use a quick hand over here.
Put him up.
Wow, that really was a good move on his part.
Good idea, Karlach.
Alright, you know what?
Eat it.
It's curtains for you. Savarsh out. Let's wrap this up.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
What should I do?
Nah, that's fine. Oh, interesting. Right. The plus 1d4 radiant damage from our Lithander buff.
This is gonna feel good. My turn.
And that's lessons learned. Class dismissed. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Obviously took a bit more damage than we really had to, but
Let's march.
But all things considered, I definitely feel better about that resolution, even if, you know, ultimately it doesn't really mean anything.
Take you.
I've got a long road ahead.
How about you, Keth? What have you got for us? Wow, just a standard Gith crossbow. Guy continues to suck, even in death. Fitting, I suppose. Alright, so we're pretty much done here. Already cleared the infirmary. Slightly ahead of schedule, but still something that we would have had to do regardless.
Time to press ahead.
Which I suppose really just leaves the creche. And honestly, I'm really hoping the guy in there had the good sense to just clear out. The creche is empty. There's nothing in there for him to protect.
Shovel is bored! Shovel wants to murder Eyes!
Yeah, I hear you, bud. It's been a while. But you know, there is more to life than just death.
Yes! Like setting things on fire!
Sure. Why not? Oh, Shovel, and you wonder why I don't summon you more often.
Alright, what now? That's a friendly-looking shadow.
Alright, so... Oh, man, come on. Barsh Koku, why? So, Koku plus 2 guards. Definitely no big deal. And you know what? I feel like his one act of decency, protecting that unhatched egg, earns him some slight reprieve. Besides, all those errant youth are going to need someone to help point them towards some slightly more decent paths in life. And Varsh Koku seems like the best shot at that, so we'll burn some precious resources just to spare his life. Yeah.
Still in shadow.
Get in there, Lae'zel. Let's get this over easy.
A steady hand is needed. Not one false move.
I'll make you wish you'd never been born!
Wow, harsh. But trust me, bud, you'll understand when you wake back up. Alright, let's burn down the guards.
Nice and quiet now. Let's see what you're hiding.
Don't burn yourself. Quiet.
Oh, okay. Right. Rolled too low on initiative. Gotcha. Really putting the hybrid nature of this combat system to the test today.
Done with you.
Oh, shoot. See, Shovel, this is also why I don't summon you. Alright, go harass that guy, I guess. Not that he's apt to survive long enough for it to matter. I guess just enjoy the show?
Still breathing, despite everything.
Time to strike.
Let's end this.
Poor guy.
No time to waste.
And Koku out.
Still on my feet. Another step forward. Done.
No, my potion. Ow. You know what? You earned that. Something to brag about in the afterlife.
Strike hard, strike fast. I'm heating up. My little trick.
And we're done.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have. What path lies before me?
Let's see what Koku there has for us. Not much of note, but we'll take it.
I'm ready to rest my weary head.
Yeah, I hear that. Just gotta give this place a good going over before we settle down for one last long rest. Please don't walk through acid. Come on, guys. We just took out an entire crash. There's no need to get yourselves killed now. Though, you know, while we're here, let's go ahead and check out that dead kobold real quick. I am curious. Ow. Come on, guys.
What's next?
Never a dull moment.
Alright, let me slap on those boots. I really should have done that to begin with.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
And nothing of note. Mildly disappointing, but not terribly surprising. For a corpse that's been marinating in acid, I suppose. Alright, well. Kretschulek. Well and thoroughly crushed. Albeit with a few scant survivors, ones who will hopefully find better things to do with their lives. Lest they might lose them in a future encounter. That said, we are well past time, but I would like to cram in one last long rest before we officially call it. Give me a sec to give this place a good going over, grab everything that's not nailed down, maybe hit a few vendors, and we'll close out Act 1. Be right back. And we're back. The creche is fully looted, but while I was trying to hit vendors, it kicked us back to camp and it won't let us leave, so let's see what's going on.
I suppose not many can boast that they've been to a Githyanki creche and survived. Perhaps that's a good omen for our chances going forward, if you're feeling optimistic.
I mean, I feel like we've done pretty well so far, all things considered. And you know, Shadow, I really don't want to encourage your worship of Shar, but I did find this statue, and I thought you might like it. Though, you know, just for the record, I do also have a silver statue of Selûne, should you ever want to swap them out.
You thought of me. Thank you. It's beautiful. I'll find a place of honor for it in camp. Nobody's ever given me anything before. What do I owe you in return?
I mean, I wasn't planning on asking for anything, but, I mean, no, it's a gift. You can always opt to return the favor in the future if you wish, but until then, your company and your support is enough.
Thank you. Lady Shard teaches us to forswear material goods, but I think she'll make an exception for her own image. I wonder, perhaps this is connected to the Dark Justiciars. This is no coincidence, I'm sure of it. I need to keep an eye out for more signs. Learn more about the Justiciars' presence in these lands. It could be important. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shar, I've wished to serve her as a Dark Justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shar, save perhaps if you become the head of her church.
I mean, hey, I'm not going to tell you not to pursue your dreams, but at the same time, I'd like to note that, yes, that did belong to Dark Justiciars, and also, they all died. So, you know, I might hesitate ever so slightly before trying to eagerly follow in their footsteps.
All signs we've encountered so far, perhaps. I'll be keeping my eyes peeled going forward.
Sure. Well, I'll see you around, Shadow. So did I literally just move that from one inventory to another? I did. Okay, well. At least we know where it is, should we ever find a better use for it.
Let's get going.
Let's see how Lae'zel's holding up.
These boots have seen everything.
Her whole world must be crashing down around her right now.
I am Vlaakith's most loyal servant. She will not abandon me.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not like she ordered her people to kill you on sight or anything. Wow, really would have expected you to have more to say. So, how about that Gith egg? Any thoughts there?
An unhatched Githyanki egg should be the burden of a Vash, not a warrior, whether ascended or otherwise. And yet, I'm drawn to the warmth of it. A child of Gith and a servant of Vlaakith grows within. Keep it close, and don't you dare pass it to that lunatic woman prowling the mountain pass.
Yeah, wasn't planning on it. So if not her, then... Oh, maybe we have to go to sleep. But, you know, we've already started talking to our companions. Might as well be thorough. Barkus?
Thank you for agreeing to find Wulbren.
Sure. Karlach?
Looks like we're done here. Pity. This place has been a wild ride.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so the event is in direct response to us essentially completing all of the Act 1 content. Aside from general bookkeeping, the only thing left to do was to pick an exit and then leave this area behind. The question being, what is so important they felt we had to see it before we actually left?
The sooner we get out of this Gith warren, the better.
Yeah, right there with you, bud. Gale?
Walking freely out of a Githyanki creche. A miracle if ever I've seen one. And trust me, I've seen quite a few.
Well?
My first tour of a Githyanki creche. Memorable, to be certain, but the service left something to be desired.
Right. Hey, Will, what do you think about our mysterious Stream Guardian? I guess I never asked you about that. Thoughts?
I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious, but once you've taken a Lithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you.
Well, you're not wrong. And, I suppose if anyone's going to sacrifice their soul, it's going to be me. I would not thrust that burden upon anyone else.
All right. Anything more we should discuss?
No, I'm good. Alison?
You wish to speak?
Not really. Okay. Yeah, I guess whatever's supposed to happen will happen once we get some sleep. I'll also note it did not prompt us to spend resources, so I'm not even sure if this counts as a full long rest. I'm also noticing a distinct lack of scratch. That's slightly unnerving. Oh, hi.
Supreme Kith'rack, has Vlaakith sent you to slay me with your own blade?
I've not come to kill you, Lae'zel. I've come to aid you.
Don't trust him.
Oh, okay.
Skakek Kir Gith Shabeleth. My blade rests. Mother Gith compels you to listen.
I mean, you do realize that we just walked out of a creche where every single Gith had been ordered to slay us by Vlaakith herself, right? Why exactly should we trust you?
I knew you would fight, and I knew you would win. I needed to ensure Vlaakith's trust. This was the only way. I know you carry the astral prism, Lae'zel. Within it lies the seed of Vlaakith's demise, and I intend to help you bring it to fruition.
Vlaakith's demise? Skaketh. I should run you through for suggesting it.
You're talking about the entity, the one trapped inside the prism. I don't suppose you'd be willing to tell me who that is. I mean, I have my suspicions, but it would be nice to get it verified.
If they have not said, they must have good reason, and I won't be the one to betray them. But the one inside's chosen you as an ally, protects you with their power. That very power will be the end of Vlaakith's tyranny. The prism's tenant must be let loose. I've sought their freedom for eons. When the prism went missing, I feared the worst. Instead, you've granted the opportunity I've so long awaited. All that remains is the key that unchains them. And I've found someone who I believe can provide it. Bring the prism to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting in a taproom called Shares's Caress. That is where we decide the fate of my people. Lae'zel, together we will break our chains and be Vlaakith's slaves no longer.
I am no slave, just still Kith'rack. The Undying Queen is my freedom. It is she who will purify me, and she who will ascend me.
Lies, Lae'zel, every last one. There is no purification, no ascension. The Zaith-Isk does not purify, it extracts memory and kills the infected. Nor does the Lich Queen glorify the Ascended. She feeds on most all of them to grow her power and pursue godhood.
Madness! You flood me with this heresy. I will hear no more of it.
I mean, hold up, Lae'zel. The fact that he actually revealed the secret of the Lich Queen there, that alone really adds a lot of weight to the idea that we should trust him. And I mean, you experienced the Zaith-Isk yourself. You felt what it was doing to you. I think we should hear him out. How could it possibly make our circumstances any worse?
I served Vlakith the whole of my life. Learned her words, fought her battles, yet she names me her Sharlak. Your words carry truth. I will meet you in Baldur's Gate. Do not make me regret it.
Lae'zel, I see Talakma Gear in you, sister in freedom. Together we will be our people's light. Take this. It is a Quanith, a psionic detector. The Queen's warriors hunt you. The Quanith will sound you out when you come near their portals. Hear its cry and prepare for battle, or slip away. I should go. Vlakith's gaze pierces the seas and skies. She believes me loyal, and I can't afford her mistrust. Keep the astral prism close. Let no one take it from you. Slay any who try. Now to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting, Lae'zel.
Look, bud, I'm on your side here. Oh, pretty. I'm on your side here, but could you possibly look slightly less sinister while turning away? And achievement get. You know, the really crazy thing about all this is that this is still all purely optional, missable content, not part of the main overarching plot. Quanith psionic detector. Barely perceptible magic flows from this unusual device. It is searching, seeking, listening. That last bit is slightly unnerving, but sure. I am curious as to how genuine Kith'rak Voss is being. I mean, on the one hand, I want to believe he is a potential ally, but at the same time, I can also easily see how this might all be an elaborate test or trap. A final trial posed by Vlakith to see whether or not Lae'zel will remain loyal to her tenets, or turn against her in the end, and thus, you know, fully earn her execution. The Quanith could be what Voss told us, or it could be a psionic bug, something to keep tabs on us, or to guide the eventual assassin sent after us. The main thing that really throws me is the Dream Guardian warning us not to trust him, which, why would it do that if he is also on its side?
Still breathing, despite everything.
Vlakith Kosivim Chrath Crashet. Only in Vlakith may we find light. These were the first words I ever read on Tirsu slate, but they are no mere aphorism. They are law. They are creed. The root from which the 10,000 protocols stem. Forsake one protocol, and forsake Vlakith. Forsake Vlakith, and be the blood and meat which sates her dragons. If Voss speaks true, if Ascension is a lie, if Tadpole Purification is a fairy tale, then I have not sinned against Vlakith. She has sinned against me.
Sure, yeah, I mean, I think you've actually got it right there, for once. Just out of curiosity, what exactly do you know about this ascension that all you Gith strive for?
Ascension is a young Githyanki's greatest honor. Long ago, the Geich enslaved my people. They dominated our minds and bred us for war, until Great Mother Gith took a hammer to our bonds. From the day of our hatching, young Gith have one purpose: to train hard enough to slay a Geich and take its head. Then, we speak the rite of ascension, and a red dragon comes to fly us to Vlakith in Tunarath, City of Death. We are honored with an eternal home in the astral, celebrated for our victory. We are ascended. Or so I believed.
Right, sure. And do the Ascended ever come back down after to tell you how great it all is? I'm guessing not.
I'd never thought Vlakith a tyrant, or me as a vassal. She was the source of my might, and I the envoy of her will. A warrior, a champion, a destroyer. But if Voss is right, and Vlakith consumes the Ascended to gain power, then I am no destroyer. I am mere livestock, bred to be harvested and devoured. Every Githyanki is a slave with a singular purpose. Not to cull the Geich, not to prevent their grand design, but to raise Vlakith to true godhood.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think you've actually got it right for once. That is interesting. Any thoughts on the Dream Guardian, the mysterious entity inside the Astral Prism?
I don't know. I can't know. And that drives me mad. At first, I thought them an illithid deception, a trick of the tadpole. But the dream figure is real. It lives in the prism. Voss believes they are the seed of Vlakith's demise and the agent of Githyanki freedom. And I believe he may be right.
And, I mean, I've got to ask, but just on the off chance that he's wrong, if it turns out that Vlakith is exactly what she says she is,
then, when the Kith'racking come for me, and come they will, I will submit to their blades. They would feed me to their dragons, and I would deserve no better.
Cool, yeah, that sounds like a plan. Well, Lae'zel, it has been real. We should probably get some rest.
Yes. I'd like time to think. We'll meet Kith'rak Voss at Sharess's Caress in Baldur's Gate. Until then, be vigilant. Vlakith's eyes are upon us.
Right, of course. When we get to Baldur's Gate...
Another step forward.
Let's do the rounds real quick, then I think we'll be at a good place to call it.
I didn't expect Lae'zel to turn on the Lich Queen so readily. Wonders never cease.
I mean, honestly, it makes sense. Lae'zel was always quick to accuse everyone else of treason, everyone else of treachery, just to reinforce whatever she wanted to believe. Now that's just been turned back on Vlakith.
So we're going to meet Voss in the city, are we? Set the tenant of the prism free? This is all very, I don't know. I like a good caper, but I'd long for a tiny bit of status quo now and again.
Yeah, it does seem like a bit much. Where's the rest of our party? Oh, weird. Okay, so it deposited us in a version of our camp where only our active party members are present. Obviously not intended, but I guess that might explain why Scratch was MIA earlier. Hey, there he is. Welcome back, Scratch. One sec, I've got something for you. Oh, weird. Can't actually interact. Though we can still talk to everyone else, it would seem. Huh. Alright, well, you know what? This does feel like a good place to call it. We've pretty much concluded Act 1. And I believe our meeting with Voss is a sufficient cliffhanger to leave off on. We'll hit the pause button for now, and sadly this is going to mark the point where the series goes on hiatus for a while, but hopefully we'll return to it somewhere later down the line. Here's hoping we'll see you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Croaking LOR, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz, Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
Madness! You flood me with this heresy!